Sorry about that, knocked my phone over. But what we have here, and I hadn't pre-read that Bible verse, but what we have here is the exact example, is we keep thinking that we need God to get on our side. God be on this side of the liberal push to have handouts to raise people up instead of teaching them how to fish. Or God be on this side and let us keep our money because we want to be the gods and not share. Or be on the AD side, where churches have been in the first 2019 years, where the government and where the American system, the monarchy and the slave system that combine to what we call democracy, which is nothing more than a monarchy socialistic system right now. Because we're not earning our keep, and that's what capitalism is, which is why I brought out the greatest financial plan since the creation of America, and it's called EYK, E-Y-K, earn your keep, or earn your keep. And so in other words, every time you go shopping, it's pennies off every dollar up to $1,000, 3% goes towards your own savings IRA. And it has to hit levels before you can borrow against it and do different things. And it'll help pay your taxes. It'll help pay your health insurance. It's going to help. Wherever we spend, we get our own kickback. Because it's not that we don't spend, so we'll keep spending here in America and around the world, but it's that we don't save, which is why we're always in a fight for the same amount of money, because we don't have our own. And the number one cause of poverty and the number one cause of death and crime and all disease is poverty. Because we have the money to get the solutions, and we'll find them. And if people don't have to beg and steal and kill, and we can keep healthy brains and healthy bodies, then people don't have to go out and do the crazy and evil things they do. If people would rather have a job than run around and steal, I promise you. I've met a lot of these people. In my ups and downs in life, I've been around every level of humanity that we can have, the good, the bad, the ugly, and all of it. And if people had a better way, 99.9% of them would choose it. So right now, what do we have? We have cancer that I think it was the late 80s or early 90s, Jimmy V, the V Foundation, which brought this great attention to cancer. But at the same time, I feel like that was the greatest one we had to learn about cancer. So I get it. So that hump had to happen. But since then, people are getting it just like this. And then you'll look at the lawsuits. Everything's getting sued for causing cancer. They're saying everything causes it. So if everything causes it, and all we're doing is talking about it, and people keep getting it, and although I think this year, congratulations, is the first year I think the cancer has began to come downhill, but we need to send it on back downhill. But it's other stress-related diseases, and there's a couple things we want to talk about, but it's like Dungeons and Dragons. And there's been some doctors doing studies that wherever the body it has cancer at, there's a place in the brain that has a dark spot. And that reminds me of when you see like a cockroach get hit by pesticides, all right, and its leg sits there and shake, but it's not really alive. In other words, its gate is open and repetitive movement that the body cannot stop. So it's going like this, keeps happening. And when that happens with the wrong cells, that creates death of the cancer. And I know I'm not a cancer expert, but these philosophies will fit and roll through all things in life. Okay, so here's what we have. And not to blame just pesticides, because the other thing is this. I don't want my feet to stink. And if they do, I don't want them to stink very often. I change my socks 2 or 3 times a day. I use the expensive detergent so my clothes will smell good. But having those more expensive detergents or having just detergents on our feet are soaking into our pores. Same thing through our clothes, same thing through our deodorant. And you know, I'm not going to go around stinking, and I'm not going to stop using these things. All right, we're probably not going to stop using pesticides. We're still going to be using vehicles that have gasoline squirting out of them, so we're inhaling gasoline fumes all the time. Our food system can't change that quickly. And so what we need is a mass detox system of everything that comes into us. We are absorbent creatures. So our greatest organ, the one that picks up the most from everything else, is our skin. So our skin that we ignore so much is absorbing everything in the atmosphere, everything that's on the ground, that's in our food. Of course, the food's going in us. But everything that's combined. And so what's happening is we're just losing the battle of toxic human versus healthy human. Because when the healthy human, when it rises up, it will win over and put out the unhealthy size. And so things that we haven't been thinking about is, one is how to detox the body. We're going to have to detox the body more. And a couple ways that I can mention. So one, the detox. And so a couple ways to be able to detox the body is there's vitamins that help detox your organs and help flush them out. Water, 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 water. Water, 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 water. Water, 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 water. CHAMPvinchi water. We're going to come out with a brain water. So other ways is through the oils in our body, how we sweat, exfoliate, all right? Or exfoliate, also the skin even changes and comes off. So one of the things is that internal, the oils in our bodies, our hormones such as testosterone, estrogen, serotonin, dopamine, these all work off of a combination of oils that should, essential oils that should be in our body and that we pick up from the elements in the world. And these things help detox our body. So there are oils that are inside of us, but just like a river that runs under a bridge, that's what we're going to do with cancer and stress-related disease. We're going to know about them, but instead of them running over us, we're going to let them run under the bridge. They're going to have to run under the bridge, because just like a polluted river, our body is taking in toxins from everything in this world. And the more people we have, the more toxins we have, because the more cars we have, and the more pesticides, and the more fields, and the more farms, and the more everything we'll have to sustain one another. So we're going to have to fight from the inside out on how to protect ourselves. So another thing is the essential oils world. I thought it was a bunch of, what they call snake oils, this essential oil push. I don't want to speak for any company, but there are some companies that claim to be better than others. But essential oils are a way to fight the toxins that are going into your body, because they get in there and replace. So in other words, just like a flushing system, just like if you had in your car, if you have crud in your oil, you need to flush it out and you need to refill it with new oil. It's the same thing with the oils in our bodies. So this is a topic that's not really talked about. You'll hear a lot of hippies talk about it, and I love the hippies. But you'll also look at them and be like, they smell different, or it's this, it's that. Well, I've done the brain maps on people that use these oils, and they're better than the people that don't. So those are facts. And then also the internal measurements of some of these other hormones also measure out to be better when using some essential oils. And it's as simple as knowing what we're talking about. So we got to get more education on that. And then a third thing, that this is a fact, and a lot of people, especially the hypocritical Christians, or the very unhealthy hypocritical humans, want to fight against the cannabis world. But there's a type of oil in cannabis called nectar of the gods, and it actually helps to kill cancer cells. So why wouldn't we be using this? So in other words, the things that make a cockroach go like this would coat those same cells, and it helps coat it with an ease, with a frequency that's smooth, like an alpha, like chilling on the beach, is what this oil, the cannabis oil, creates. So when you have the pesticide oil that makes it go, and but then it'll have to combine with an oil that is of like, so the cannabis oil also helps the body flush out toxins, and it works as an antioxidant. So if it's an antioxidant, it helps kill cancer cells and keeps you calm and keeps the cells on this peaceful realm. It would be insane for us not to do it. 3, 4, 2, 1. When we go from year 2020 to 21, 20 times 21 is 420. And all of you against it, you're going to see the miracles we'll do with it, and we'll do it as responsibly as we can. But I'm not going to sit around and let people die of cancer when we can use things that God has given us to help fight it, or at least to help comfort them. And these statistics are out there, but we just got to beat I love the evangelical world, but you're beating up some of the wrong things while people in your congregations are dying of cancer, suicide, all these things. So as much as we love Jesus, we have to accept the fact that he has combined, that he has made scientists like myself. He has helped create doctors. He has helped show. It's just like you listen to this through your cell phone. You don't know how it works. We have brain technology that can help your brain and help fight against cancer, or help a cancer brain have better chances of happiness. We can use what he's given us here on this earth. But until you put down your pride, we won't be able to do it. So the one thing that we were talking about there is to detox. Okay? The other thing is, right now, and this brought me to tears earlier, is right now all we hear is garbage. Argument, argument, argument. Look at CNN. It's just like, oh God, oh God. Like, I don't want to say this in a wrong way, but just accept this. CNN's output is a cancer output. It's a cancer output. It's like, oh God, we're dying. Everything is dying. And then Fox News is like a pesticide that then hits it and makes it cry more. And, you know, the Fox News that is like, look at these idiots. They're a bunch of idiots. Bunch of liberals. So it's like the cockroach, and here we are, the American people inside of it, right? And then you got the Elmer Fudd's Fudd brains trying to get the Trumpster. And soon to be Fudd brain CHAMPvinchi wants to improve health. Not doing it in my church. Not doing it in my town. Not doing it in my country. 3, 2, 1. Yes, I am. All right, here we go. So the second thing is we got to quit filling our cups with all the awareness. All right, look, homie. Look, brah. Yeah, we're aware cancer exists. We get it. But that ain't what we need to be hit in the face with every day. What we need to be hit in the face with every day is health, happiness. Did Jesus come down here and say, worry, 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 worry? So if what we're putting out on the radio waves is worry, 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 guess what we've done? We've created dis-ease. Guess what that does? It creates caves. And guess what caves have? Dragons and dungeons of death. And it creates caves in our brains and caves in our cells. And then it starts firing off, and those cells are trying to operate the rest of your body. And then we turn into fried cockroaches inside of our own bodies. We've got to get the awareness of health back into the schools and off of the radio and off of the TVs. If your medicine isn't making people feel better, we're going to have to figure out a different way. Maybe just mail it to them or something. I don't know. I don't want this message to come across wrong, but we've got to improve what we hear. There is no good news on the TV. It's lucky our suicide rates are aiming towards the top. We need to wipe out the sound of the stations. The sound of death should not overrun us. We are people of health, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in Jesus or whatever religion we choose. We need to be hearing, yes, we can, not no, we can't. And everything in the AD, the all damned, is just an overflowing, the pouring into our cups of death. And that's why life is shortening, because you know what? If that's all we're going to hear down here, it's not worth it. But hold on, because that's not all we're going to hear. The third thing we need to do, so 3, 2, 1. The third thing we need to do is to replace all this with the sound of joy, with the sound of labor that we hear in the background, with the sound of community earn your keep, with the sound of America working for the people, with the sound of togethers feet, with the sound of health rising, with the sound of loving our presidents, with the sound of loving our government, with the sound of the president loving us, with the sound of the government loving us, with the sound of cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching as our money comes up. When we spend, it saves. When it doesn't, it goes to us. And then we can invest more into foreign entities. So the foreign entities will actually get wealthier too. But we got to help the best brains and the best bodies and the best spirits on this planet right here in the United States of America to have what we need. Hats off, stand up. Remember, one nation, all colors, under God. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, all colors, under God, for liberty and justice for all. All right. How do we do this? When we're on the bridge, JC, Jesus First, or the Jedi Nation, to where we're going to have minds like eagles, to where our vision goes above our brains, to where we can see above the situation to save ourselves, so that this cup, well, when you pour into my cup, it's good. This is my cup. My cup up here, which flows down. They say what's in the heart is who we are, but what's in our cup? What's coming in the 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 holes in our brains? Look at all these holes in our brains up here. And our eyes. What's coming in our cups? What's in your cup? Let's have some water. All right, here we go. We're gonna fly like eagles. What happens when people go low? We fly like eagles. Whoa, whoa, whoa. MAGA motherfucker. USA. MAGA motherfucker. USA. MAGA motherfucker. USA. Today's suggestion is for how do we become inclusive, because I promised, or I didn't promise, but I told you guys that I'd be talking about how to include, for one, poverty is the worst problem we have. And this, close in second is all the death that we hear in our ears and our eyes all the time and all around us that we're soaking in our skin. So we have to detox. We have to quit pouring junk into our brains, and we have to replace it with all the sounds of health, life, liberty, and the sounds of cha-ching, 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 of the eek, 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 which is earn your keep economics, where we invest into Americans first, not just America, but Americans. We have to make America great again and make America fun and cool again. And we do this all in love. Remember, leaders, roar, repent, replace, revolutionize, receive. And we go from the R's to the R. Hope you have the best Sunday ever. Don't forget, Jesus loved people and did miracles on Sunday. I'm expecting miracles today, and I hope you enjoyed this fast. And we're going to let disease and sadness and death and all the things of the AD of the all damned who didn't love one another like Jesus told us to do, we're going to let that run under our bridge while we celebrate on the top, and eventually that river will flush itself out, just like you got to detox, quit pouring junk into ourselves, and then replace it with love. Because 1, 2, 3, I love you. Have a great day.